Hello all. I hope you're doing well. These are our presentation slides for week 2, and today we're going to focus on professionalism and Delaware Early Learning Foundations. I hope all is well again. These presentation slides are a review for week 2. Due to the inclement weather and the campus closure, students are responsible to view, listen, and follow the directions within this video. Completing the viewing and the included activities will be considered your week 2 attendance. As always, if you have questions, please let me know. Let's take a look at week 2. Just a reminders for this week, you are going to print and bring your early learning education, your ECE lesson plan template and your ECE written lesson plan rubric. Those are found in Module 2 in the Lesson Plan Hub. So if you haven't already done that, please make sure you put that on your to-do list for next week's class meeting. You are also to look at the Early Learning Foundations in preparation for exploring the Early Learning Foundations assignment that is due this Sunday, January 21st. That due date will remain and is your responsibility. No one had placements this week, but in class this week we were going to go over our schedule, which we are going to do. And our course reflection will be an out-of-class assignment. Professionalism Part 2 we're going to review together in these slides, and we were going to have a discussion about your placements. We will continue those things next week. The Exploring the Early Learning Foundations is linked into your module complete information. This explains what you're going to do, why you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it. So here, make sure that you access the template to Exploring the Early Learning Foundations. You're also going to need to open the Early Education Foundations specific to infant toddlers. You'll often hear people refer to these as the DELFs. And then you're going to identify skills that you would see for each of the 4 age groups below. So you're going to find a DELF related to 0 to 6. And once you're more familiar with the DELF layout, you'll see that those are very quick to find. You're going to copy and paste the code as well as the language. And then you're going to use in your own words, you're going to identify at least one way that you as an early childhood educator can support a child's development at each of these ages. You're going to save that to a Word document and you're going to submit it to the submission site on D2L according to our course calendar. Again, you can see on the sideline here, it is due Sunday. You're submitting it to D2L. This next slide includes the template link as well as the rubric. When you are watching this video, you will find the presentation slides right below with these active links so that you can access it that way, or again, you can go into the module and you'll see those links as well. Okay, we're going to move on. Goals for today: early learning, our early childhood professionalism continued. So we're going to talk about critical competencies for early childhood professionals. That's you. And the early childhood education in America discussion cards we're going to do via a Jamboard. So this is going to be a different type of class. Again, at any time, if you need to pause, take a break, come back to it, you have that opportunity. The second goal today is to continue our understanding of the Delaware Early Learning Foundations, again, what we call DELFs, using them as a foundation to help you begin to write lesson plans. Okay, into the crux of our discussion today. Early Childhood Professionalism Part 2. So, critical competencies for early childhood educators. They're going to encompass core functions for infant toddler caregivers, and they include the following 8 domains: early childhood development, family-centered practice, relationship-based practice, health and developmental, linguistics and cultural, leadership to improve, professional and ethical practices, and service and collaboration. Again, if it's helpful for you to hit pause and reread these to yourself, that's wonderful. Take that opportunity. We're going to revisit these in different ways. This comes from the 0 to 3 research that's been done. So the competencies are linked here. This is a hyperlink. And also you have the QR code. So usually in class we would present as a group, but this has become part of your course reflection for week 2. This is your out of class assignment, and we're going to look at this first part together. So after you open up the QR code or the link from the previous slide, it's going to take you to the 0 to 3 critical competencies for infant toddler educators. There are 7 domains and 3 competencies. You're going to choose one of the competencies, not the domains, the competencies. And you're going to complete the following: a simple review of the competency. Just give it a general summary, 1 or 2 sentences. At least 3 ways in which early childhood professionals can show awareness and understanding of the competencies. Think about yourself and your growth areas. And finally, an explanation of why the competency is important to the work of early childhood professionals. That's you, future teachers. Okay, so again, if it's helpful, you want to go back to the previous slide. You want to open up this document. It's linked here. It's in Module 2 as well. You can hit pause on these presentation slides and you can complete this first part right now. Okay, great. We're going to move on. And the next part is an early childhood today discussion. And this was meant to be a group discussion in class where we think, paired and shared and moved around. So again, at any point, you need to stand up, sit down, move around, do that because you have that flexibility when you're in the comfort of your home. So for this one, you're going to go to this Jamboard link up here at the top, and we'll go there in a minute. And actually what you see pictured here is the first slide of the Jamboard. This is open for you to participate in. So you're going to respond to each of the questions on the slides. You're going to use the sticky note function on the left side. It's 4th from the top. And you're going to include your response on those sticky notes. Please include your name at the conclusion of your notes. And just one more thing, please use the assigned Post-it note colors. That'll help us navigate a little bit quicker as we go through. So I'm going to hit pause and take you to the Jamboard so you can see what we're doing. Okay, everybody, we're in our early childhood today discussion. And again, as you go through the slides, you can see that you can arrow to the next frame, is what they call it on Jamboard. And right here is the sticky notes. And if we click on that, we have the sticky note options in yellow, green, blue, pink, and orange. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out of that. Remember to review your assignment and stick with it. So the first frame here, it's a 2-part question. What are the major challenges facing early childhood educators in the United States? And how can we address these challenges to ensure that all children have access to high quality early education programs? What are the benefits of early childhood education for children's academic, social, and emotional development? Include at least 2 of those components. Okay? What are the benefits of early childhood education for children's academic, social, and emotional development? And finally, what role do parents or guardians have today in the education of infants and toddlers? How are you going to include them? Why is it important? What is their role? Okay, I'm going to hit pause again and we're going to go back to the slides. Again, if you want to come here, it's the linked in the slides, and you can hit pause on this video and complete this component of what we're doing. Just want to hit pause here for a second and say thank you for your flexibility in following through with the review of these slides. Okay, I'm going to move on to more of the lecture portion of this presentation. And I can already tell you that we're probably going to move into a part 2 video, but let's see where we get in the next few minutes. I don't want to cut any of this short. And if there is a part 2 necessary, then it'll be posted under this part 1. Okay, we're going to talk specifically about the early learning foundations. For some of you, this may be a review, and for others, this may be new. If it's a review for you, hang in, stick with it, because again, there's a component that you'll need to complete with this. So the early learning foundations has 4 designated domains, developmental domains: social emotional, language and literacy, discoveries, which is cognitive, and physical development and health. And within the DELFs, it's broken down by age. So we have young infants 0 to 6 months, older infants 6 to 12 months, young toddlers 12 to 24 months, and older toddlers 24 to 36 months. And when you begin your placement at your centers, you'll have an idea of the age range of the children in your assigned classroom. Some of you may be in classrooms that have a 6-month span. Most of you will probably be in classrooms where there's more of a 12 or maybe even 18-month span. So it's going to be really important the first weeks of placement that you either ask for a class list with the children's first name and date of birth, so that you have a range. Remember, that's chronological age, not where they are developmentally, because we know there can be a 3 to 6 month swing on either side, and that is still considered typical development. Okay, next slide, we're going to look at the early learning foundations, and this is one of the pages. So again, we've added the link and the QR code, and it's going to take you to this yellow book that says Delaware Early Learning Foundations, and the yellow one is specific to infants and toddlers. So follow along with me. This is an example of language and literacy for young infants 0 to 6 months. And what we are going to do is we're going to read from left to right. So the subdomain of language and literacy here is emerging literacy. It's the foundation of reading. We go from subdomain to supporting ongoing learning and development. The child is given an opportunity to do L10, LL11, and LL12. So emergent literacy, show interest in rhyming books, stories, and songs, and you can hit pause and read the other 2. When we move to the next column, we see what you might see young children, young infants in this case, 0 to 6 months do. Now, ding, 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 this is what you're going to pull from to do your assignment that is due. So you may choose, language and literacy infant for young infants, and you can pull from 2 of these 5 bullet points. And then what can you do to support their development? Remember, on the worksheet, you're going to include your own words. Okay? Down below, take a minute and read across, thinking about the subdomain of emergent writing. Yes, emergent writing for 0 to 6 months. Okay. After you do that, if you need to take a break, please do so. It just so happens that this is where I'm going to pause and conclude part 1. And then when we come back, we're going to have our next activity and wrap things up so that you know what's ahead.